Hey guys, it's me, Seren, aka Actually Black, here with another video. I'm sure you guys have all seen my title. I refuse to say this woman's name anymore. I refuse to type her name. I'm not typing her name on the internet. I'm not typing her name on Twitter. I'm not saying her name out of my mouth. This woman has actually reached and surpassed the level of a certain white female rapper who you guys know that I also do not say her name. I call her the Australian Voldemort, Ify Zuzu, Outback Jane, Albino Kangaroo, you know, any number of aliases. And now this woman, the great white fraud, has matched her and surpassed her. So congrats. This video is going to be about the great white fraud and Black academia and Black elitism and a couple of other things, but those are going to be really the main topics of this video. This woman is either, this woman's story has just been unraveling and unraveling and unraveling. I've come to the conclusion that she's either one of two things. She's either mentally ill and disturbed, which I said previously, or she's a conniving, pathological liar. Either way, she's a white woman in blackface, and that is unacceptable and is inexcusable. And everything that everyone is doing, trying to explain this away and talk this away, is just exposing them for either their homophobia, their transphobia, their racism, their anti-blackness, their internalized racism. And what I've also noticed is that a lot of people, especially Black academics and Black elites, have been exposing themselves as some motherfucking coons. Cooning hard. Cooning for this white woman, okay? You have so many people that, you know, I will say that the silver lining of this whole thing is that this woman has pretty much allowed a lot of people to expose themselves as the coons they are at heart. You know, people that I entrusted my mind to by watching their videos, by reading their books, by watching their shows. You know, people like Melissa Harris Perry, people like Boyce Watkins, you know, people like Sway, who I will never watch one of his interviews again. You know, so many people. There's someone on Twitter that's keeping like a running list of people that are like revealing themselves as coons for this white woman. So silver lining, you know, the universe sent us the great white fraud to expose what these people really truly think about blackness and the Black identity, and what they really think about transgender people, and what they really think about gay people. You know, people are just really exposing themselves as assholes and as coons and as intellectually lazy and as just generally all around uninformed shitty people. So I'm glad that they're being exposed. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad that they're being exposed. But I see a lot of people that are very intelligent, people that I like, people that I have respected, that are standing for this woman, caping for this woman. You know, I had an hour-long Twitter conversation with Don Cheadle where he's saying, well, I don't understand why people are so up in arms about this. You know, yes, she lied, but maybe the story is more nuanced. Why does the story have to be more? She's a pathological liar. She lied about everything. We've gotten all of this evidence now at this point that her story is unraveling and unraveling and unraveling. And yet you have these people that want to give her the benefit of the doubt over and over and over and over and say, well, maybe it's complex. Well, maybe it's more nuanced. Well, maybe it's this. Well, maybe it's that. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that she's white and her white privilege, and the fact that, as I've said multiple times in many videos, we as Black people are conditioned to make excuses for white people, to take the blame for them, to take the fall for them, to explain things away from them, for them. But I think a lot of this also has to do with the fact that two things: that she is a woman, she's a white woman, and she is an academic. I think that has a lot to do with these people defending her, you know. We pretty much saw Chester Hanks. I didn't make a video about that because it was just too much. It was so ridiculous, you know, and it never got to the level that this has gotten to. We pretty much saw Chester Hanks, who's the son of famous actor Tom Hanks. He basically said, not even, 2-3 weeks ago, it was the same month, that he feels like he should be able to say the N-word because he is a rapper, he lives around Black people, he loves Black people, he has a Black girlfriend, he loves Black culture, he is a rapper, he's immersed himself in the culture, he self-identifies, he used these words, he self-identifies as an African American, so he feels like he should be able to say the N-word. People laughed him off of Twitter. They laughed him off Instagram. They got his Instagram account deleted. Nobody took this serious. Nobody. Everyone said, bro, you're white. You're a white rapper. You the son of Tom Hanks. Like, no, you don't get to self-identify as black and say the N-word. Now here we have a similar story, a white person claiming they self-identify as black, so they feel like they should be able to do this, and this, including wear blackface. And you have people that want to sit around and have legitimate conversations about, well, could she be black? How come we didn't see these conversations with Chester Hanks? I feel like a lot of that has to do with the fact that he is a man and she is a woman. Typically, when we think about white-black racism, we do think about it in terms of gender, white men versus black men. A lot of the racism by white women goes unnoticed, goes untalked about, and goes unpunished, just like a lot of the racism and violence perpetrated against black women goes unnoticed and goes untalked about. So the fact that this is a woman instead of a white man means that we have to give her a little bit more benefit of the doubt. And that goes back to white femininity, in my opinion. You know, like I said, I do think that her white privilege played a huge part in this, but the fact that she is a woman automatically made her story, even though her story is far worse, automatically made her story stand out somehow from Chester Hanks' story. Automatically made her story something that we had to give all this attention to and give her all this country and fucking give her all this media attention. Chester Hanks didn't get no Today Show interview, you know? And I just feel like, you know, how do I say it? I think that a lot of it has to do with the fact that she's a woman, a white woman, and white womanhood and white femininity and white fragility especially. You know, I talk a lot about white fragility, but white female fragility is something that is it's ingrained. It's an ingrained facet of our colonization, as well as an ingrained facet of, you know, white culture, white society, whatever you want to call it. We all, black people, white people, everyone, we all rush to defend white women because of what they represent. They're still to this day seen as innocent, seen as fragile, seen as something worthy of protecting. I have a whole video on black men and white women where I go into this more in depth, so I will link it to you if you guys want to check that out. But I feel like white women are seen again as something innocent, fragile, you know, pure, and worthy of protecting. And that has a lot to do with the way that even the language that's being used when we talk about this story. I have seen grown ass people, 40 plus, you know, using this very immature, babyish language. Like, well, why are we being mean to her? We're being so mean. We need to give her a chance, you know? Okay, so she lied, but, you know, it's not so bad. You know, not even making intellectually sound, complex statements on why we, you know, should give her some country, but really revolving it around the fact that she is a precious, you know, innocent white woman. And, you know, like, she's a child and we're being mean to her. And she's a child and she didn't understand what she was doing. No, this woman is 37 years old. She put up this facade and this charade for 6 to 8, possibly even 10 years. Either she's mentally ill or she knew exactly what she was doing. She's a conniving snake. She's a pathological liar. She's a fraud. And she's a white woman in blackface. Let us never forget that she's a white woman in blackface. But since she is a white woman and not a white man like Chester Hanks, we can use this, you know, very childish idea of her being something that we have to protect. And you see people rallying around her and protecting her and and saving her. And oh, poor, poor, precious white woman. Oh, did you fall? Oh no, are your feelings hurt? Oh, I'm so sorry. Are those black people being mean to you? Oh, tell me all about it. You know, it's very much that. It's very much that. But when you see the way that we deal with white men like Chester Hanks, it's like, you're not a nigga. You're not black. You can't self-identify as black. You can't say the N-word. Take your white ass on. Because he's a man. Because he's a man. Because he's a man. That has a lot to do with it. And aside from, like I said, I feel like this revolves around two things. The fact that she's a woman and also the fact that she's an academic. Aside from the fact that she's a woman and this whole concept of white femininity and white fragility, this also has to do a lot with respectability politics. Going back to the Chester Hanks example, Chester Hanks was also not taken seriously because he is a rapper. I haven't listened to his music. I won't be listening to his music. Whatever. A lot of this also has to do with the fact that he is a rapper. His story didn't even get traction really on any of the mainstream white media outlets. This was a story that really got a lot of traction on the black sites. Gossip, Nicole Bitchy, what is it? Madame Noir, you know, because this was a story about a rapper, right? But with The Great White Fraud, we have a story about an academic. We have a story that these people in these positions, that these people in the white mainstream media, as well as these black academics and black elites can relate to, right? We have this woman that is, you know, affiliated with these prestigious organizations like the NAACP. She's done the city council work, this local government work. She's affiliated with the Black Lives Matter movement, you know. She is a respectable person, and we're getting into respectability politics. If this woman had been a white crackhead, a white lady crackhead on the street, chilling with the other black crackheads, darkening her skin, wearing a raggedy wig, jacked up wig, talking about I'm black this, I'm black that, I could do this, I could do that, nobody would have paid attention. Everybody would have just said, this woman is crazy, you know, leave her out there with the black. And I see white crackheads and black crackheads together all the motherfucking time, okay? Ain't no racism when it comes to crack, all right? If she had been a white crackhead out on the street with black crackheads saying she was black, nobody would have paid attention. But the fact that this woman is an academic and that she's affiliated with all these prestigious organizations and these prestigious universities, and she's done this and done that, means that we're also automatically going to give her a platform to speak, to tell her story, and you're going to have people that want to defend her because they see her as a respectable person. And that is respectability politics. And y'all already know how I fucking feel about respectability politics. Respectability politics are bullshit, okay? They're bullshit. This woman isn't any less disturbed. She isn't any less of a pathological liar. She isn't any less of a white woman in blackface just because she's an academic or just because she's affiliated with these prestigious organizations. I got into it with Don Cheadle last night on Twitter, which is just, y'all did this because y'all the ones told me to get a Twitter, and now I'm out here getting in arguments with celebrities on Twitter. Y'all, this y'all fault. I want y'all to know. I got into this argument with Don Cheadle on Twitter, and he's like, well, but she's done so much great work. I said, what great work has she done? Can you name one thing for me that she's done? He literally said, I don't know. I'm just going off the NAACP statement. So you have no idea what she's actually done. But just the fact that she's even affiliated with the NAACP, which is a name that you know, which is a respected, respectable name that you know, which is an organization that you know and respect, that automatically gives her some type of credibility. And that's not how it should work, okay? Just like we wouldn't give Chester fucking Hanks country, just like we wouldn't give a white crackhead on the street country, she does not automatically deserve to get country just because she's respectable and affiliated with these respectable groups. And you see a lot of people using this as some type of excuse. Carrie Hilson did the same thing. And again, like I said in one of my other videos, you already have a very narrow-minded way of thinking if you think that black people are not doing things for other black people, because Don Cheadle also said that as well. Well, can all this Twitter passion translate into action? Which I found to be really offensive, because it's like, you haven't seen the work that we've been doing for the past year. Youth organizers and youth leaders have been on the ground organizing for the past year, getting shit done for the past year. Not only protesting, not just protesting, but fucking doing workshops. When I was in Ferguson, they were giving out workshops, multiple workshops a day for free on knowing your rights, on opening and sustaining black businesses, on supporting the black economy. They were giving workshops, teaching kids about black history. You know, the months that school was out in Ferguson, they were giving school for free in libraries, you know, feeding kids, you know. And this is the youth. These are the young people. This is not the NAACP. This is not these accredited organizations. This is not this older generation of fucking black activists that sit on their asses and do nothing until the camera crews come out, and then, oh, they're out there giving fucking speeches. This is the youth. So how dare you sit on Twitter and say, well, can this passion extend from Twitter into action, into something tangible? This woman gets all this benefit of the doubt because she's white, because she's a woman, and because she's an academic. And we don't get it because we're young black kids. I mean, I'm not a kid, but, you know, people see me obviously as a kid because they talk to me like I'm a kid all the time, because we are black youth leaders and black youth activists. We don't get the benefit of the doubt because we are not affiliated with these accredited organizations and institutions, and that is respectability politics. And it's bullshit. And it's bullshit because a lot of us are doing great work and have been doing great work and will continue to do great work before and after this bitch. This bitch didn't start any type of national. There's people saying that Don Cheadle said that she's the one that started the conversation around race. Well, we're having these conversations about race now, and that's because of her. Where have you been the last year? We've been having hard-hitting conversations about race for the last year, okay? We have been having conversations about race for the last year. We have been taking tangible action against race for the last year. Legislature about body cameras, not that body cameras really make a difference at this point, obviously we see, but legislature about body cameras have been introduced in 12 different states because of the work that we've been doing for the past year. And I want to say Indiana. In Indiana, they recently introduced legislature to make it so that you can protect yourself against cops. Like, you can shoot back. They like recently introduced that. We brought the black youth leaders, brought race into the national conversation. We're about to be heading into a presidential election where we all know that race and this issue with police brutality and state-sanctioned violence is going to be a huge issue of this presidential election. We did that, not the great white fraud. And that, again, you have people that are going to sit here and they're going to give her all this credit, and they're going to give her the benefit of the doubt because she's an academic and because she is associated with these respectable organizations, and they're going to act like the work that we're doing is invisible. And that is part of the problem with what she did. She is erasing actual black people. Like I said, actual black. She's erasing actual black people that are and have also done work as this white privileged woman occupying space, right? And these black academics and these black elites want to give her the benefit of the doubt because she's associated with these institutions. And I also personally believe that a lot of them also want to give her the benefit of the doubt because they see themselves in her. You guys already know how I feel about black academics, about black elites. I have 2 videos about it. I think most, of course not all, but most. I think most black academics, I think most black elites, even the ones that claim to be pro-black and down for the cause, and the ones that talk about activism and do this and do that, I think that most of them have issues with black identity. They have issues with black authenticity. And I think a lot of them got into academia as a way to position themselves closer to whiteness, because you have all these people that see higher education as a way to just get money, get a good job, take your kids, take your resources, withdraw from the black community, run away, and take everything to the white people that you so desperately love and want to be like because you think that they're superior to you. And a lot of these reactions have really revealed that to me to be 100% true. My opinion on them is 100% true. This woman, look at what, she had an interview with Melissa Harris Perry where Melissa Harris Perry said, "You feel so familiar to me. I feel like I can't say that you're not possibly black on the inside." First of all, the bitch is not black. She's not black. She's a white woman in blackface. She's a white woman with a tan and a bad wig. We could sit around and talk about how race is a social construct all day and all night long. Social construct does not mean fake. Okay? Social construct just means it's an idea and it's a concept that was created by the society. And social constructionism is a very important part of the way that humans adapt to their reality, and it is a very important part of the way that we run organized societies, okay? We have to have social constructs in place for our societies to work. Money is a social construct. Economic systems like capitalism are social constructs. Time is a social construct. These are things that human beings created so that we could give order to our lives and to our societies, so it wasn't some Lord of the Flies shit, okay? Race is a social construct, but social construct does not mean fake. So please stop using that as an excuse. And race as a social construct, the system of white supremacy, the system of racism, white supremacy as a social construct is rooted in something that is very real and genetic, which is skin color, okay? And appearance. You inherit your skin color from your parents. You inherit your hair color, your eye color from your parents. We all learned about George Mendel and the P test, where he crossbred peas and realized that certain physical traits and characteristics were genetic, okay? And the social construct of race and the systems of oppression in this country are tied to skin color, which is genetic, right? She is genetically white. She's white. She's white. I don't give a fuck. She's white. She can't change it. I'm black. I can't change that. I was born into a system, into a society that has constructed the idea of race as linked to my genetic skin color. What don't y'all understand? It's very easy. It's very, very simple. Y'all are just intellectually lazy, and y'all are standing for this woman because she is white, because she is a woman, and because she is an academic. Getting back to Melissa Harris Perry, she said, you know, you feel so familiar to me. And I was like, bitch, I bet she does feel familiar. She feels familiar to all you black academics because she went to the same schools as you. She sat in the same classes as you. She taught the same classes as you when she got older. She sat in the same lectures as you. She gave the same lectures as you. She's part of the same organizations that you are. She's doing all the same things that you're doing, the grassroots activism and the this and the that. She's wearing her hair like you, Melissa Harris Perry, and you feel like to question her blackness is to question your own blackness, and you don't want to do that because deep down, a lot of these black academics and these black elitists know that deep down, they wish that they were white, and that everything that they're doing is to get them closer to whiteness, to get them in proximity to whiteness, because these people feel like the more money they have, the more school they have, all that is a measure of their proximity to whiteness. So they feel like, how can I question this woman's blackness when she's done everything that I've done? Deep down, these people want to be white. They don't think they're black. They're struggling with black identity. They're struggling with black authenticity. I guarantee you that most of these people are the people that were picked on in school for being smart and talking white and this, that, and the third. So they feel like, I've never felt black. I've never felt this. I've never felt that. So they don't want to challenge her because they see themselves reflected in her. So they don't want to challenge her, right? And that's sad. That's sad. These people are coons. They have a real inferiority complex, and it's sad because sitting in those classes, fucking being a part of these organizations, everything that she has done does not make her black. And everything that they have all done could be done by a white person and is done by white allies every single day. It does not make her black. It doesn't make her black, period. But again, they don't want to question her blackness because they feel like that's questioning their own blackness. Melissa Harris Perry literally said, you feel familiar. Yeah, because she's done everything that you've done. So you feel like, how can I tell her she's not black? If I'm telling her she's not black, am I saying that I'm not black? They don't even understand that blackness is not linked to anything that you do or say or feel, okay? You can't just say, I feel black. What the fuck is feeling black? And that's another thing. She said, I don't like African American. I wouldn't say that I identify as African American. I identify as black, culturally black. Bitch, there are black people all over the world with all different cultures. So how you gonna say that you're not African American, but you're culturally identified as black when all you did was adopt African American stereotypes of blackness? If you went over to the fucking UK and said, I'm not African American, I'm black, the black people in the UK would look at you like you were fucking crazy. The black people in France would look at you like you were fucking crazy. The black people in fucking the Dominican Republic that are getting deported to Haiti because they have dark skin and Haitian facial features, not because of how they feel, not because of how they self-identify, because of how they look physically, which they inherited from their parents. So now they're getting deported because of their visible blackness. They would look at you like you're fucking crazy. Blackness is not a game. Black struggle is not a game. Black oppression is not a game. Blackness is not something you could put on and take off. Either you are or you aren't, and she's not. And these people are giving her a pass, Yet again, because she's white, because she's a woman, because she's respectable, and because they see themselves in her. It's sick. So you know what? Thank you, great white fraud, for showing me how these coons really feel about themselves and how they really feel about the rest of us. They feel like we ain't shit, that she's worth more than us, that her fake ass work is worth more than us, and that she is a reflection of them and they are a reflection of her, because deep down, they don't really know what it means to be black. Obviously, the fact that they're even entertaining these conversations as black people shows that they have no idea. And that's sad. And that's really all I have to say about it. So hopefully, you guys, you know, got what I had to say. Hopefully it was clear. This is a non-issue anymore. Like, the bitch is a pathological liar. Either there's something wrong with her mentally, or she's a fucking con artist. She's a white woman in blackface either way, which is inexcusable. And she's exactly the same as fucking Chester Hayes and everybody else that wants to be black. Everybody want to be a nigga, but nobody want to be a nigga. And your fake blackness that is rooted in the fact that it is optional, you can take it on and off, fundamentally means that you are not black. You are white. You are doing all this because you can, which is a facet of your white privilege. And I'm just so offended by these fucking black academics and these black elites that are defending her. But like I said, they see themselves in her. So, you know, and they also just feel like we all have to fucking protect the precious white woman. And that's just really what this boils down to, you know, in addition to the things that I've covered in my other videos. And that's it. And that's it. And that's all. So anybody that I see fucking talking about her and defending her, I'm just like, well, I know the truth about you. And I encourage you guys all to do the same. As I said, they are deporting 100,000 to 250,000 black people from the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic is very, very, very anti-black. It is extremely racist. And basically they're saying that anyone with dark skin and Haitian features, aka African features, aka black people, they're saying that they're not real Dominicans. So they are preparing buses to bus them out and to bus them to Haiti, even though these people are not Haitian. They are Dominican. They were born in the Dominican Republic. A lot of them speak Spanish. A lot of them own businesses. They own land. All that's going to be seized by the government. They're calling it a social cleansing, which what does that sound like? Sounds like an ethnic cleansing on some Hitler shit. And like I said, they're not going around asking people, well, how do you feel? Do you self-identify as Dominican? Oh, okay, you can stay there. Looking at skin color and facial features, which are genetic, and they're saying, you're black, you're Haitian, you are not Dominican, so you got to get the fuck out. And you got to go to Haiti, even though you've never been to Haiti. You have no friends and family there. You don't speak the language. You're a Spanish-speaking Dominican, but you black, so we don't want your black ass here. Blackness is not a game. Not a game, not something you could pick up and put down at will. African-American is not the only type of black. Like, this bitch is disgusting and depraved. And please read about what's going on in the Dominican Republic, and I will also put a petition. Please sign it, because the United States really needs to step in. The fact that we haven't even stepped in yet is deplorable. So check out the links. Food for thought as always. See you guys next time. Peace.